Are you looking for a boat that does literally everything well? I've got the boat for you today. We are standing atop of a Boston Whaler 240 Vantage. This boat's been revamped from the original classic 230 dual console, but I say it's a boat that does everything well because if you're cruising and leisure, going to restaurants, sandbarring, bow riding, open head for mama, fishing with a standard live well, this boat literally can do that. Got an argument with the family? Some of the kids want to fish, some of the kids want to sandbar. Mama wants to cruise and get cocktails and have charcuteries on the wet bar back here, but dad wants to fish and the boys want to get out and troll. It's a boat for you. Step aboard, we're going to take a look throughout this. So when I talk about a boat that does everything really well, it's hard to ignore Boston Whaler's engineering. They've got an engineering department that's larger than most facilities and boat designers. But when I speak to the quality and craftsmanship that comes behind that Boston Whaler name, I say the boat does everything well because we've got some rear-facing seating. You can see a stainless steel table mount to turn this area into a social zone. But when you talk about something that's easily designed, we look at that gas shock assisted backrest that's forward facing with a big comfortable bolstered seat. I say bolstered seat because we don't have knee knockers, and I joke and call it knee knockers that as I'm cutting through the boat and I don't want to bust my shins, that this is bolstered and covered. Some of the less expensive brands or less premier brands that want to be Boston Whaler wouldn't have that covered. So another thing I talk about with engineering is how solid these are built and how smooth that closes. It's incredible. We've got the lounger that's forward facing here, that these do have storage beneath. But when you talk about what that seat does, we've got one that's rear facing if we're hanging out in this social zone, but we've also got forward facing that if I'm sitting up here hanging out side by side with my spouse, that maybe she's driving and I'm hanging out, that we both want to talk and share and visit and could be both forward facing so nobody gets seasick. But you talk about engineering, you talk about comfort. You've got a little trigger here on this big stainless release, multiple positions along the way. Bam, I just turned it into a sun lounger that I could lay out here, stretch out, watch the kids, whether we're doing water sports or we're sandbarring at the island and hanging out and watching everybody on the sun chill pad. But we'll have you step aboard. We'll take a look closer here at the interior and the helm and all the accommodations and get a look at social zone number 2. So we didn't catch you in the bathroom, but I did want to show that for a 24-foot single engine dual console that you've got a wonderful amount of space there in the port side helm. As I sit here at the helm seat across from that lounger, that we're going to sit here at the helm and see this one's still ready for electronics, but we've got easy access to starboard controls, tilt helm, and a kick-up bolster. It's not uncommon that you would kick this bolster seat down, that if you wanted to sit in and tuck away from the wind and sit behind that windshield, you could. I like sitting up above it because I traditionally will stand and drive if I want to stand and control these. But if I'm going to, scoot out and slide in and sit down and tuck in, that I could sit here, tuck behind that windshield and still have full control. We'll take a step up to the bow and take a closer look at all that bow seating and social zone number 3. But it's worth mentioning that you could close this full windshield off, close that windshield and close that hatch and have everybody back here protected from behind the elements. They do have an optional isinglass package. It's not uncommon that you'd see that in the Northeast or some colder climates. Normally in Florida, we want some of Mother's Nature air conditioning or a little bit of wind and some airflow through here because it gets pretty hot. But you've got the opportunity to protect yourself from rain, wind, cold weather, or whatever reason. But we'll step up front and try to wrap this up. So I wanted to have this open, as we do have an optional windlass package available. This one does have no windlass, but has the starboard mounted at an angle bow boarding ladder. Something to make note of is you could still have the windlass and that bow boarding ladder, but this bow boarding ladder is telescopic, will slide out, and then if we beach the boat and we're not fishing, or maybe the kids are fishing off the back, but we've got it beached up on a sandbar, that we can board the boat in and out of the front, and we'll work our way down. I'm standing on top of a storage container, trying not to smash some cushions. You do see a couple inserts, which is where that bow table could slide down, cushion goes on top and turn into a big filler area. It's worth noting that that is the other table that we could move from the back, that if we're not back there entertaining and having dinner or snacks, that we could do that up front here. With my family, the kids enjoy riding up here. It's a guaranteed dolphin cruises when you've got a Glacier Green 240 Vantage, but I want to just say thank you for joining us through this walkthrough of this Boston Whaler 240 Vantage. My name is Caleb. This is MarineMax St. Petersburg. And if you want to check us out online, you can check us out at marinemax.com. Thank you.